master of personal branding and storytelling, Alex Ward transforms entrepreneurs into unforgettable brands through the power of her own story. With 16 years in marketing and a background in journalism, Alex has worked across industries from law to engineering and seen one truth again and again. The businesses that win tell a great story. Through her company, Core Story, Alex helps business-to-business founders and CEOs become the obvious yes in their industry. She's guided Inspire Biz to land 9 new clients in weeks, helped lighthouse accountants stand out in a sea of sameness, and worked with Sharp and Able to turn wit and expertise into a pipeline of inbound leads. As the host of Naked at the Top and a sought-after speaker, Alex brings a mix of storytelling, strategy, and humour to every stage. Her talks inspire audiences to drop the jargon, embrace authenticity, and leverage the story only they can tell. Because boring brands don't win clients, be clear, powerful stories do. Let's welcome to the stage the lovely Alex Ward.
What's your favourite movie? That was a rhetorical question. Please don't shout them out at me. But what I want you to do over this talk is think about that movie. Think about the storylines, the plots, and the characters. And then at the end, see if you can see the similarities in what I'm talking about. Founders are losing connection. In a world where we are insanely connected, we've never been so disconnected from our audience, from our business, and from ourselves. And comparison is in the driver's seat. Happens to me all the time. I open up LinkedIn, yeah, I'm one of those. I see a post I love and I quickly scramble to try and replicate it. Anyone else catch themselves in comparison?
Yeah.
Yep, we see Betty over there. Tim's done this. That guy over there with the perfectly lit podcast studio. Oh, maybe I need a new podcast now. But when we look out at external validation, we neglect the very audience that we're trying to reach. And we neglect ourselves, the very person that can help them. Yet we are obsessed with stories. According to Deloitte, the average Australian spends 44 hours consuming media every week. That's your streaming, TV, radio, podcasts, social media. And that's not even taking in consideration the time you spend reading books, gossiping with your bestie, listening into other people's conversations. I can't be the only one that in a restaurant listens to the table next to me to listen to their story. 6 hours a day in someone else's story. But when was the last time you analysed your own story? Because that's where your superpower is. That's where connection lives. Stories saved me. They were my escape. When I was a little girl, I spent hours reading stories alone in my room. And I grew up writing stories. My degree in journalism taught me how to uncover the truth. My career in marketing saw me fly over to the customer sites around the world to interview them and write their stories. Yet when I started my business, Core Story, I didn't feel qualified enough. Didn't feel like I knew enough. It wasn't until I uncovered my own story that I realized I had everything I already needed wrapped up in my story. You see, you don't need another strategy. You need to find your story. Because within your story are the lessons and the patterns that show you just how credible you are. I call it Rawthority. Real, raw authority. The kind that stops you having to show The kind that stops you trying to pretend to be an expert and just show up as one. Because you already have all the authority you already need. And the great thing is, you can learn this in 3 steps. And fittingly, they spell out RAW. Number 1, relate to your audience. Every great movie starts with one question. Who's watching? Pixar designs its movies for parents and children to laugh and cry together. Tarantino designs his movies for thrill seekers who want shock and style. That's me, by the way. Everything from the lighting to the dialogue to the pacing is all designed for that particular audience to feel something. Now, this is where many founders get stuck because they're telling every story for everyone and wondering why nobody feels it. So we need to relate to our audience, and we need to get below the surface level. Not accountant 40 lives in Melbourne. What keeps them up at night? What do they fear? What are they chasing? Think back to your last client. What words did they use to describe their problem? And once you worked with them, what words did they use to describe how you helped them? That's the emotional signals they're giving you. So catch them. I was working with one of my clients recently, and I asked her to paint me a vivid picture of her ideal client. And then one question changed everything. Are you working with them? No. Not one of her clients were her ideal clients because she was sending out mixed signals and she was getting the wrong clients in return. Once you know who's in your theatre, you can storyboard for them. Every great director and founder doesn't just tell stories. They make their audience feel something. So before you shout action, know who's watching. Number 2, analyze your past. Every great character has a backstory, and so do you. The failures, the successes, the late night meltdowns. They're all there in the archive, waiting to be discovered. This is where founders get stuck because they think that authority is perfection and polished. Not Rawthority. Rawthority is all in those moments that you likely cut. The moments where you've stuffed up and you were so embarrassed. Or when someone challenged you or made you think differently. Or those lessons that kept on showing up until you listened. They're all the things that build your raw authority. And they're the things that help you connect with your audience because they will resonate with you. Another one of my clients had worked up to GM and VP in a company before she started her own business consultancy. Now, she's worked with companies around the world. But when we sat down to one of our sessions, she told me that she's always felt like she had imposter syndrome because she never got a degree. So we mined her story and we went through her entire career history. By the end of it, she said, that felt like therapy. But it was all laid out in front of her, showing her just how credible she really was. And the same is true for you. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, and storyboard your life. The highs, the lows, the heartbreaks, the celebrations, the 360 pivots. And for each of them, ask yourself 3 questions. What happened? What did I learn? And how does it show up in my work today? Once you start doing this, you'll start to see the themes throughout your life that have been building your authority in the background. Finally, number 3, Work your weird. Every memorable character is full of quirks and personality traits. Jack Sparrow, Bridget Jones, Indiana Jones. They're all memorable because of their quirks. It makes them human, relatable, and unforgettable. I'm Alex with a Y. The Y is silent. I'm Scottish, not Irish. I do laugh at my own jokes. I'm impulsive as hell, and I turn everything into a story. Yet in business, we start to smooth out those edges, polish that tone, filter that language, all in the name of professionalism. We've turned our brands beige, bland beige. Bridget Jones wasn't remembered because she was perfect. She was remembered because she was real and had many flaws. Indiana Jones was remembered for his reckless bravery, his fear of snakes. These flaws and quirks define them because they make you root for them. They make you want to succeed. And the same goes for you. So ask people close to you, what do I do that's just so me? Maybe it's your relentless creativity, your passion when you care about something. I don't know, maybe it's because you sing out loud when you're stressed. Whatever it is for you, don't hide from it. Own it. Work your weird, because that's what makes you human. It builds your trust, it builds connection, and it builds authority. That is Rawthority. So remember, relate to your audience, analyze your history, and work your weird. Own your story. Your story is what makes you unique. It's what makes people remember you. So leverage it, work it, and build your Rawthority. Thank you.